So I was in this event recently, and this concept of gentle witnessing came up. And I just loved how that sounded, to gently witness. And the context in which it was brought up was with just how chaotic our times are right now. This sense of, what can I do to actually create a difference? What can I do to make change? What can I do? Even just sitting with that, like doing. And there was a time in my life where there was this knowing about, it's not about our doing, it's about our being. And I think that the essence of gentle witnessing really captures that brilliantly. That when times are out of our control, when the external reality that we live in is not fitting into the mold that our ego self wants it to be, the best and only thing we truly can, quote unquote, do is to be the witness, is to come back to that space inside of ourselves with compassion and with love, and to witness. This also plays into context in relationships and in partnerships when we're in conversations with others. And there's this weight, there's suffering that we're witnessing or that we're experiencing inside of those conversations, that if we just come back to, how might I be the gentle witness to myself and to others, there's an openness that comes about that I've experienced. It's almost like I was in this group experience and there was a man sharing the story about his daughter, how his daughter had the death of a pet and how she cared so deeply about this pet. And there was so much sorrow and grief that she was experiencing. And I'm sure as the dad, there's this need to solve the problem. How do I make her feel better? But you can't bring the pet back to life. Like, what are you going to do? And it was the click of awareness for him in the way he told the story. He said, all I can really do is just to be present with her, to let her feel her emotions and to be the safe space for that to be processed and that to be felt and that to flow through. And that really stuck with me because in the line of work we do, we get to guide and teach leaders who are leading communities, who are change makers in this world, and they have decisions to make and they have choices they need to do and they have to go do in this world. And you can't really be successful at doing if you haven't really integrated in your way of being. So in a conversation recently too, it was interesting. This woman said, I've come to a place where I no longer feel like I have to make decisions and I no longer even need to make decisions. And that really struck something with me because I've experienced that weight of needing to know what to do. That weight that I've created for myself internally of almost wanting to be 2 steps ahead of everyone else, of myself. How do I plan? How do I strategize? It's almost like I'm living my life always waiting for the other foot to drop and always looking around the corner at what's coming up next. And there's a heaviness to that. It's exhausting at minimum, right? And it's a lot. It's a lot to carry. So for me, gentle witnessing is the space to breathe. It's almost like the awareness of the weight of this pressure to make decisions, this pressure to perform that is an external pressure that I've now integrated and embodied for myself. I take that weight and I put it down. It's almost like I sit on the couch and I'm looking at the weight, which creates, again, like I talked about in prior videos, like instead of clenching and attaching, there's a spaciousness that opens up. And when I do that for myself, when I witness that for myself and in spaces for others, there's always ease that comes through. There's always grace that steps in. And there's this letting go of the need to do, the need to make a decision, the need to perform, the need to attempt to strategize what's happening next. And in that letting go, there's a trust that also starts to slip in. Slowly at first, grows with time. And that trust is this trust in something greater than me. This trust that I'm just this human and I don't know all. And I can't ever possibly control everything, as hard as I may try. This trust that everything always works in my favor. Everything always will work itself out. Now, that doesn't mean don't be a proactive participant in your life, but it means when you are actually taking action and doing in this world, you're doing it from that space, again, that it's already done, that you are already whole. And gentle witnessing, I feel, is kind of like a lever you can pull. It's like almost a catalytic spring that can step in and really create the spark of transformation when integrated, when practiced. So I'm curious what's coming up for you in this concept of gentle witnessing. Have you seen it? Have you applied it? Have you tried it? I'm going to be practicing it with you. We'll see what emerges. As always, look forward to connecting with you in future wisdom bursts. And let me know in the comments too if there's any topics that you're interested in diving into together in our collective journey towards inner freedom. Be well, my friends.